Alright, Finn, I just wanted to go through the kit that I'm going to be sending to you. This is the ferrocerium rod that I was talking about. Might be hard to see through the plastic, but you can kind of see. You'll see the next video that or the next part of the video that I post on how to use that. So that'll be a ton of fun. That's instant fun. I have a bunch of novaculite. This is a flint that comes from Arkansas, and this stuff here is intended to be used with the fire striker, which is going to be wrapped right in here. Okay, it's going to look really similar to this right here. This is my fire striker. It's just a file with the sides ground down. This is the stone that I use to get my sparks. So that's my personal set. That's not going to be in your package, unfortunately. So you'll get the rest of it. This right here is some small pieces of flint. There's some tiger chert. I think there's some novaculite in there. And a pressure flaker here. Woohoo! Make something cool. Make some points, have some fun, do whatever you want, doesn't matter. So the other part of the kit is going to be some char cloth. This whole container here, I'll put this back in, is going to all be char cloth, right? And I'm going to send these ones to you too, some extra ones, just so you have a little bit more to have fun with. This right here is a tin. This is how I make the char cloth. And I have a video, but I think I'll make another one, maybe specifically just to show you how I do this. And basically anything that you have that's 100% cotton, or like leaves, or anything organic, you can experiment with, but a t-shirt that's 100% cotton will work just fantastic. Tiny hole in the top. You can't see it because I have the label over it, but just a tiny hole, and you probably don't even need the hole. What happens in this process is that in order for something to burn, it needs fuel, oxygen, and heat. So what happens in this situation is it has the heat and it has the fuel inside there, but it doesn't have the oxygen, so it doesn't burn. It just basically it can't completely combust, so it turns to a carbon state, and that's when you get the char cloth. It's basically like it's just basically charcoal, but it's in a cloth form. And you'll see in the later videos when you hit that with a spark, it just instantly ignites. So this tin will be for you to make your own char cloth for when this runs out. And yeah, that's about it. So I can't wait to see what you do with this stuff, and hope you love it. Alright. For now, Greenbird out. Alright, Finn, now that you know what's in your kit, let's see what it does. So I have my own ferro rod. I think I mentioned that mine's on my keychain. And I'm going to use my knife. I would probably not recommend using a knife that's super sharp or super important to you, but in an emergency you would, of course. And there's a number of different ways you can do it. You can either scrape down, or you can push into your tinder and pull up. I tend to prefer to push into it and pull up, because I feel like, for one thing, I have more control over it. When you're pushing down, there's a good likelihood that you could knock your tinder, or push your hand into the fire that you just spent so much time making. So I tend to put the ferro rod in there, put my knife on it, and pull up. I also feel like it does less damage to my knife. So let's see what happens. Ooh. Is it going? Yeah, it is. Can't see it because it's daylight, but that lit. 2 strikes. Okay. Put that in my bucket. Alright, so now in the last video, last night, in fact, actually this video is going to probably be published first, but last night I made some char cloth to demonstrate how to do it, and kind of glad I did, because it's been a while since I made char cloth, and the stuff that I sent you is very, very high quality. In fact, the first video I made showing how to use it, which I'm not going to publish because it just came out terrible. The sound is awful, camera's in a funny direction. It was just one of those days, but I got it on my first strike. Actually, it actually took. But I'm going to show you the stuff that we made last night. Let's zoom out a little bit. And it's not perfect. It should have stayed in the fire a little bit longer. I took it out when it stopped smoking, but what I should have done is left it in there an extra couple minutes. That's what I usually do. And you can actually see, if I can find a spot here. Yeah, if the camera picks that up, where it's not as dark as the rest of it. It's probably not picking it up, but yeah, there we go. Trust me when I say. So we're gonna try it anyway. But I do want to admit that I cheated a little bit, and I tried this before turning the camera on. Didn't work that great, but the good news is that these other tins came out pretty well. So we're going to try it anyway, just to see if we can get something. So I'm going to find a sharp edge. Going to put my char cloth as close to that edge as I can. Boy, I wish that other video would have come out nice. First strike, that doesn't happen a lot. I'm just going to strike down. Okay. Let's see if I have a sharper piece. Maybe I'll use this one instead. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm just figure the sharper piece will have a higher likelihood of giving us a spark. See, we're getting sparks. It's just not taking. See, I got a spark that landed right directly on the char cloth. So this would work. It's just going to take some time. That one bit me. Let's try this side. The char cloth is starting to kind of fall apart. That side's too sharp. I can't put my hand on that. I'm going to cut myself. So I'm getting sparks on there, and if I work at this, I will get something that lights. But not optimal. I'm probably going to throw that back in for a little while longer, to be honest with you. But I just wanted to show you that that's what happens if you don't cook it long enough. It still looks good, but it's just a little under. Oh, you can see what happens if you're not careful. I got bit. So now, let's try the paper towel. I sort of gave it away, but that's the second thing that I decided to try. So let's find a place I can hold on to this without getting bit again. That was just a dumb mistake. Put the paper towel right on the top, just like we did with the other stuff. I think I'm going to try this side. This is the side that bit me. Paybacks. Oop. Paper towel is definitely a lot more fragile. Watch how good it works. Right there, 2 strikes. Probably had it on the first one. Alright, so let's go into the bucket. So that paper towel works really, really well. So if you don't want to chop up a t-shirt, you just want to use a paper towel to make it, you can. And it cooks a lot quicker, obviously, because it's thinner. That's probably why it works so well. And here are the ones that we had that were rolled up. And let's see here. I'll try this one here, just to see. So the benefit of these ones that are rolled up is that they're so much thicker and larger, where you can light one of these and throw them into a tinder bundle, and they will, they're just more robust. They just give you a better opportunity to get that tinder on fire. There's a much more of the char cloth that needs to burn up before it runs out. So, and this is something that I just recently, like really recently, like this week, learned how to do. I never thought of rolling it up like this, so I thought I'd share that. I'm just going to do the same thing. Maybe find a sharper spot. There we go. I think it took. I'm going to blow on it a little bit. You can see it. Now look how much bigger that is to go into a tinder bundle. Can't wait to try this. All right, it's starting to ride down and hurt, so it's going in the bucket. So anyway, Finn, those are the things that are in your kit. This is no Vaculate. Like I mentioned, it might not be the best flint to use, but if I get some other stuff, maybe I'll send it to you. And also, I would encourage you, have some fun. Walk around your yard. Just pick up rocks. Hit it against this thing. You're not going to damage it. See if they spark. Some of them will spark, some of them won't. Quartz will give you a spark every time. Might not be as robust as other stones, but you know, that's half the fun. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this, and can't wait to hear about your adventures. Take care, buddy.